Attila and I are heading down to the Anthropological Museum, but before that we found the comic store. Check it out.
Lovely. All accessories for a superhero.
Just in case. My incredible. Oh, Deadpool! Normally I don't go to visit like museums of anthropology, but it's like the #1 rated thing to do here in Mexico City, so I'm trying to figure out why. There's got to be a reason, right? Yeah. Why are so many people rating it so high on TripAdvisor?
Yeah, it should be
Hungary.
Budapest.
From Budapest. Ah, very cool. Is Hungarian like a combination of other languages?
No.
Is there similarities
Nothing.
to? There's no correlation to any of the other languages?
Some of the languages are in the Slavic language family, but Hungarian is unique. I mean, we are...
It's totally different, huh?
Totally different.
Yeah. Beautiful. This is where you get the luchador mask. Okay, I think we found some native dancing over here. We're finally here at the entrance of the Anthropological Museum. Oh, cool. It's another floor down. Right, we're just going in now. The Buddhist faith is very focused around the causal relationships of suffering. Your view of the real world is not realistic. You expect everything to remain the same. That's not how things are going to be. On the flip side, if you expect everything to be, to follow your way or your will, I mean, that's not how the world works. So a lot of it is just like kind of a recognition that, things in life don't go the way that you expect. Saying, oh, Buddhism is like the dominant religion in Japan. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Shintoism.
No.
But I think what they're saying is that Shintoism is a sect of Buddhism, is what they're saying. So therefore, Buddhism is like dominant in Japan. Wachipi is like the Mexican god of flowers. Flowers are also representative, like, of all the warriors who had died. That's why they're crowned with a butterfly. So anyways, that's like the whole theme of this exhibit. Anthropology, Imitation of Lucy. This looks like... So they're saying, this guy, this guy, this boy. They're like the art deck. The cult of the male leader. Tiny. This is what a typical exhibition site would look like. 10,000 years ago, that's when people started coming over to the Americas. I mean, mostly you're just looking at like pots and pans and like knives and little instruments, but I find it fascinating because it's just like about learning about people. Feathered serpent. Apparently this was where a lot of the religious ceremonies happened in Teotihuacan. Groups that had control of the obsidian, they basically had control of the whole region, and essentially they could essentially dictate the religion and all the practices of other nations that they ruled. Emphasis on circles. First mention of the word Mexico comes from the Aztecs, where they combined the old faith and then some of the Christian faith. Can you imagine wearing this guy? It's huge. Once you discover gold, you can't go back. That is a cool ring. Called the Stone of the Sun. Basically the main structure for which a lot of sacrifices would be made upon. There was also like warrior battles directly on top of this stone. The sun and the moon were created by two gods who both had to set themselves on fire in order for the sun and the moon to be created. And this is one of the reasons why human sacrifice was such a normal thing there. The gods had to sacrifice, so it makes sense that humans would need to sacrifice both themselves and their enemies in order to appease the gods. Cool. So these discs are typically associated with gladiatorial sacrifices. It's a perfect platform for fighting. Spearhead face. Hello. This is a reconstruction of like a typical sacrifice site. And so as you can see here, like killer stairs going up, and then at the very top, those who had passed before you. You can see the latest trends. Order online or with one click via Amazon. They love bulging eyes. Gives you a sense of what like the market life. Cloth, tea, pottery, lots of potteries. I think this is the big boss. Canada means like a glen or like a kind of a plantain of sugar. So now the place that I was born is related to sugar. Breastplate. The Mixtec stuff in Mexico was exposed to European textiles. You can start to see like some of their influence on the pottery. These monkeys. The sentinels. Giant statues of heads. Piercing his own tongue so that drops of blood would come out. It started pouring outside. All the rain. Love the way that they kind of put you in that environment. It's really cool. You get to see like kind of what life would be like. Okay, we're gonna see what's inside a tomb. Funerary effects of Pakal the Great. Keep other people away. Really like mass. The tomb of Pakal the Great. The afterlife was very much like life here, and so people would often be buried with effects such as, whatever food that they might need, or clothing, or pottery, or tools, those types of things. You're working in this world, you're going to have to work in the other world. When they took over a particular region, a lot of what they tried to do was like dig up old architecture or old artifacts to show that, we have always been the rulers. So basically to show how the new was associated with the old, connecting the old with the new to make it more acceptable to the general population is really interesting.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified when new videos come out, click the bell.